Hi, I'm Toni Cameron from Metamorphosis Teaching Learning Communities. I'm here with my friends, and we're going to share some of our work on games with you today.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Slabic.
Hi there, I'm Jenn Costanzo.
Hi, I'm Daniel Scher, and we're ready to get started.
Games. We're going to use Dan Finkel's top 3 points about using games to help us think about the purpose of games and what to look for in a good game. The first thing is that choice should be part of the game. Choice means people have the opportunity to do whatever they want, whenever they want it, and their thinking drives the game. Number 2, math should be the engine of the game, not an incidental. This means that you're not playing a game for fun and then all of a sudden there's a math activity embedded in the game and you have to stop your fun to do some math. That actually gives the wrong impression of mathematics and how we want kids to think about math. Number 3, the game should be simple to learn and easy to play. Those are 3 things we think are important when you're thinking about games.
Welcome to the game of Bullseye. In this fun, interactive game, kids of all ages are going to be challenged to build numbers by using other numbers. Now, it may seem pretty straightforward and easy at first, but there's a lot of rich mathematical thinking that can be developed using this game. So we put together this interactive tutorial to help you think about how to play this game and how to adapt it to meet every learner's needs.
So let's learn how to play the Bullseye game. Here we have the directions. Drag numbers into the circle to make a sum of 10. And here are the choice of numbers we have. For this first game, our choice is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can simply take a number like 1 and drag it into my circle. Now remember, my goal is to make 10. So I'm going to drag some more numbers. I'll drag a 2, I'll drag a 3, and notice that every time I drag a number, I still have more of those numbers here in my well of numbers. So let's drag another 3. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, and 3. Let's check if that works. I'll press the check button, and oh, I see, sorry, try again. So I already have some of numbers here, and I think I might need, let's see, maybe another 1. And let me check again. And oh, I see, I got it. So we're going to be talking about the strategies for how we might be thinking about this game and how our kids and students might be playing. But for now, just to conclude, I'm going to show that if you want to play again, we simply press reset, and all of those numbers go back here into the well of numbers, and we can play again.
All right, so here we are. Let's play the first round. And so I'll play the role of the student in these games, and Jenn will, after I'm done playing, she'll have an opportunity to come in and share some of the insights about what I'm doing as the student here. And so I might start with 2 because I love green. 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. I like lots of 2s. All right, I think that's 10. Check. Oop, sorry, try again, huh? Okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna try again. If 2s didn't work, maybe I'll try the purple 3s. Ready? 3 and 3 and 3. I think that's gonna work. Oh no, I wonder what's going on.
All right, so when we saw Stephanie playing, we saw her pick 2s because they were her favorite color. We noticed that she was just pulling in a bunch of 2s, not really thinking about how many 2s or what that growing quantity would be. And then when she checked it, there was no thinking about it being a sum of 10, and then just try it again. And then her second time around was around just picking 3s. So there was really a random nature of the way that she's playing the game. So if you see your child playing the game in this fashion, it might not be the right game for them to be playing at this moment in time.
All right, let me see. I want to make 10. I'm going to start with 4. And that's 4. And then I'm going to add 3. And 4, 5, 6, 7. I need more because I got to get to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. There I go. Let me check. Woohoo, I got it.
All right, so in this instance, when Toni was playing, she started with 4 and she knew she had something to work with. And then she was able to count on from there, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from 7, she knew she needed more to get to 10, which shows that she understands the whole that she's working with. And then she built up from that quantity and she added on 2 more. And then she realized she needed 1 more to get to 10.
Okay, so I need to make 10. Well, I know that 1 and 4, I know what they add up to. So 1 and 4 is 5. So, okay, what should I add on to that? How about a 3? So 5 and 3, 6, 7, 8, and 2 more, 9 and 10. And let me check, and I got it.
All right, so what we saw Daniel do here is he started with something that was known. He put 4 and 1 together because that's a known fact. He knew that that would make 5. And then from there, he continued to build up in smaller chunks. So he built up 3 more, 6, 7, 8. And then from there, he still knew he needed more and counted on 2 more to get to the whole. So he's building up to the whole and he started with a known fact.
All right, so this game wants me to make a sum of 10. I know I can make 10 with 5 and 5. Oh, wait, there's no 5 here. But I can think of 5 as 4 and 1. So there's 4 and 1, that's 5. Here's another 4 and 1, that's 5. Oh, that's pretty easy. And I know when I check it, it's going to be 10. And it says I got it. Yay.
All right, so here's what Toni did when she was thinking through it this time, is she started with the whole of 10. She knew that that was what she was working with and she deconstructed it into known parts, but the parts that she knew were 5 and 5 weren't available. So she was able to further deconstruct 5 and 5, or to deconstruct 5 into 4 and 1, and then another 4 and 1. So she started from the whole and deconstructed it into known parts.
So when we were playing this game, you might have noticed that there were actually 2 games, one above the other. Our first game, which we've been playing, is to make a sum of 10, which I've done here. And below this, there's a second game, to make a sum of 20. And when we were designing this game, I first started a little differently. On one page, I had the sum of 10 game, and then you had to go to a separate page for the sum of 20. And we realized that by having these on separate pages, we were missing a really interesting mathematical opportunity for children to be thinking about. So here I am back at the game that you'll be playing with your child or student. And we have a sum of 10, which I've made. And imagine now that I'm the child thinking about how to make a sum of 20. Well, I've made a sum of 10 here. And I think, wow, if I were just to take 2 copies of each number, so I could have 2 1s and 2 2s and 2 3s and 2 4s, what would happen? Well, since I know that these 4 numbers add up to 10, if I double that, because 20 is twice 10, and have 2 copies of each number, then without even adding this up, I should know that, wow, this equals 20. And when I check, it actually does. So by having one above the other, we're not just having students think about solving one problem, but we're making them think about the relation between these 2 problems and how they can strategize about making a sum of 20 if they know they've made a sum of 10. So now we're going to move on to some questions that you might be asking your child or students.
All right, so now you've learned another way to play this game, and we want to go back to Jenn's thoughts about watching your students play. And so as you're watching your students play or your children play, these are some questions that you can think about using to help further their thinking. How did you decide which numbers to choose?
Is there another solution? How many do you think there are? How might we keep track of your solutions?
Could you build the target number with only one of these numbers?
Could you build the target number with all of these numbers?
What is the greatest number of numbers to build the target number?
What is the fewest number of numbers to build the target number?
What are all the possible solutions for making the target number? And how do you know you have all the possibilities?
How could you use your solutions for making 10 to help you make 20?
And what patterns do you notice in your solutions when you went from making 10 to making 20?
So now that you've seen how we can play the game with sums of 10 and 20, we wanted to show you a way you can extend this game. So at the bottom of this game, you'll notice that there's a little page control. And if I tap the right arrow, we move from page 1 to page 2. And on page 2, you or your child or students get to set your own values for what the target number is for this bullseye, as well as what numbers appear here in our well of numbers. So for example, if I'd like to make my target, for instance, I don't know, how about 15? I'll just enter 15 and tap outside of this number pad, and that changes my target sum to 15. And perhaps I would like these numbers, instead of being 1, 2, 3, and 4, to instead be, how about 2, 5, 3, and 7. And this is something else that I think we can add to Dan Finkel's lists of what makes a good game, is a game is really great if not only you can play it by the way the rules that you've been given, but if you get to change the rules in some way. So after you've played it with a sum of 10 and the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, you now get to pick different numbers. And all of those questions which we just talked about that you can discuss with your student or child are ones you can revisit here, about thinking about what values can we use here for the given target that work. Maybe you can create a game with a target and values for which there is no solution at all. There are many possibilities.
We were happy to share our game with you. We want you to understand that there's a lot to think about when you pick a game. Here's a few helpful questions. First, go back and think about Dan Finkel's tips. Think about the ones we added. How do you assess a game? How do you assess its effectiveness? What questions might be helpful to you as you think about this? Think about first, what's my purpose in using this game? Am I trying to develop skills? If I am, there's plenty of games out there that do that. Actually, you might as well just pick up a workbook and have your students use that. There are games, however, that are games built on reasoning, and those are the games we think we should be offering to our students. In these games, kids can still be developing skills, but thinking is at the heart of it. You might want to think about, how do these games develop important math ideas and strategic thinking, and how might they develop important habits of mind like perseverance and flexibility. Thanks for joining us. We're hoping you enjoyed our session. There will be many more to come. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us at the website provided.